growing questions now over the sexual assault allegation against Joe Biden by a former staffer. As new details emerge, some commentators now wondering if the media has a double standard. Are they covering these accusations the same way they covered Republican allegations like those against Brett Kavanaugh? Dave Rubin is the host of the Rubin Report and author of Don't Burn This book. It is just out today. I've had a look at it. It's really, really good. Dave, one of the things you talk about in here is how your eyes were open to media bias over the years. And I wonder how you see this situation.
Yeah, well, Dana, you've written a couple books, excuse me, and you know that you sit on them for a while. So I finished this thing back in July, but one of the things that I write about, Chapter 8, is all about how to spot fake news, and we seem to be in an endless time of fake news these days. But people think when you talk about fake news that it just means that the story is completely fabricated or that the headline doesn't match the story itself. But actually another, I would say, more pernicious, subtle type of fake news is when the media ignores a story that doesn't fit their narrative. So when the Brett Kavanaugh hearings were happening, every allegation was printed on the front page of the New York Times, and CNN ran with it, and Washington Post and the rest of it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I was actually on tour with Jordan Peterson in Europe at the time, and people literally were coming up to me on the streets of Dublin and asking me what I thought about the Brett Kavanaugh allegations. Well, now Joe Biden has allegations, and I'm not here to say whether the allegations in one case or the other case were true, but two different people have allegations who have two different political allegiances. And for weeks now on Twitter and on YouTube, people have seen these Tara Reade allegations. There's this video from over 25 years ago that has now been confirmed by Tara Reade herself that it was her mother calling into Larry King's show to say that her daughter had been sexually accosted by a senator. Now, again, that doesn't make the allegations true in and of themselves. But the point is, one type of fake news that exists is when the media ignores something. And because Joe Biden is a Democrat, because he's a lefty, he gets a pass from mainstream media where we know if this was a conservative, and we have evidence of it in the case of Brett Kavanaugh, that he wouldn't get a pass. And people really need to wake up to this sort of thing.
Let me read to you a tweet from Alyssa Milano. She said, I'm aware of the new developments in Tara Reade's accusation against Joe Biden. I want Tara, like every other survivor, to have the space to be heard and seen without being used as fodder. I hear and see you, Tara, hashtag #MeToo. But really, because, Dave, in 45 minutes or so, I guess Joe Biden is having a virtual town hall about women's issues, and we found out that Hillary Clinton is going to be his special guest and will be endorsing him today.
Yeah, well, we know this is just nonsense. I mean, when Me Too started, we had to believe all women, and every allegation was taken as simple fact. Then when it goes against their guy, I mean, Alyssa Milano, she's been one of the biggest pushers of the Me Too thing. Now, I believe it was well-intentioned, but then it sort of lost control, and it's just there to sort of take out everybody. But then when it's one of her guys, well, now we have to think about it a little bit more. And I think this type of hypocrisy is in many ways why we see mainstream media collapsing, because if you don't call it as it is, but you only call it as you wish to be, well, then people are going to see that. And this is sort of the asymmetry that we now have with the online media and what happens on YouTube and Twitter and elsewhere. And by the way, Fox is very good at this because you guys actually cover the outlier stories that the other networks ignore. But this is the type of thing that the New York Times, why has CNN not reported on this story, as far as I know, as of us talking about this right now, on a video that happened on their own network. I mean, people start to see it. If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop yelling, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist, all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.